I remember the night I signed the papers that would end my marriage, and the morning after, when I walked into the boardroom with the same calm smile I had worn on my wedding day. My name is Helena Montez. I am 35 years old, senior executive at one of the most powerful banks in New York. But beneath the tailored suits and measured tone, I have always carried a secret ambition, an ambition that feeds on betrayal and blooms into precision. He was charming at first, the kind of man who could make any evening feel like a scene from a movie, and I said yes to his rooftop proposal under a sky swollen with stars. We had champagne and whispered promises, and I believed them, because I wanted to. Marriage for me was supposed to be a partnership, a meeting of two strong minds. Instead, it became a war fought in shadows. Slowly, I saw the signs, documents I signed that disappeared, questions about my accounts that were not questions at all. His smug grin when he thought I was too busy to notice missing figures. He underestimated me. Most men do. What he did not know was that my ambition was not limited to annual reports and profit margins. It had sharp edges. It could cut through legal traps like silk. I spent months building my plan in silence, memorizing every clause in our agreements. Every asset registration, every thread that tied him to me financially. The smell of ink on those contracts became the scent of my own revenge, each sheet a weapon. The day of the final meeting, I sat across from him in the boardroom with the glass walls reflecting the city we both thought we owned. He tried to smile, tried to charm, but his hands shook when our legal counsel slid the divorce settlement across to him. An elegant composition of loss for him, freedom for me. He realized too late that every property had already been transferred, every investment account locked in my exclusive control, every debt wiped clean on my end but doubled on his. He opened his mouth to fight, but the paper spoke louder. It said he would walk out with nothing but his name, and even that would mean little in the circles we moved in. I watched the color drain from his face, while the hum of the city outside pulsed like applause only I could hear. In that moment, I tasted my victory. It was cold, like the air after a winter storm, but it was pure. You may think it cruel, but the trail has a way of shaping the kind of justice you demand. You may think love tempers revenge, but sometimes it fuels it. If you love Helena's journey, like and subscribe to join her next chapter. As the doors closed behind him that morning, the board turned their attention to me. The headlines later would say nothing about the personal war I had just won. They would talk about my strategies, my expansions, the way I positioned the bank to swallow a failing competitor within weeks. But I knew the truth. I knew that every decision from that point on came with a clarity I had not felt in years. He had tried to undermine me in my own arena, and I had answered in that same arena with numbers and names and ink that would not fade. Justice, when served cold, is not about shouting across the table or throwing glasses in anger. It is about delivering exactly what was earned, down to the last cent, with a smile that makes your opponent wonder if you ever loved them at all. Later, in the quiet of my apartment, I poured a single glass of wine and let the city's lights spill across my floor. There was no celebration, no party. Only the kind of stillness that comes when you stand in the ruins you did not create but refuse to live in. Do I miss him? No. What I miss is the version of myself that believed in promises more than in proof. That woman is gone, and in her place stands someone who understands the power of keeping the ledger balanced in all things banking, business, and love. Someone once told me revenge leaves you empty. I disagree. For me, it created space that I filled with new ventures, new investments, and the kind of freedom that cannot be priced. And now, when I walk into that boardroom, Every eye follows me not just because of my title, but because they know I am a woman who does not bend, does not break, and does not forget. If you want to witness the next move in my climb, follow along. You will not want to miss how I turn today's victory into tomorrow's empire.